welcome to another round of Sports Reviews. Tonight I'm reviewing the semifinal, the first semifinal of the 2020 Scotiabank Concacaf League. Alajuelense 0, 5 on penalties, Olimpia 0, 5-4 on penalties. Alajuelense wins and moves on to the final on February 3rd. 2 weeks from now, Olimpia just fell apart. They ran out of gas. Let me explain something here. They played so flat tonight. I'll talk about the penalty shootout, but there were no goals in this game. By the way, hold on. Almost screwed it up. Well, okay. Here's the thing. They screwed up. Bad game. 22 steals to 12. 13 fouls to 14 fouls, 55% possession to 45% possession, 0 offside to 1 offside, 4 corners to 3, 318 correct passes to 228 correct passes, 32 incorrect passes to 56. And let me look at the shots, by the way. 12 to 13. Olimpia was trash tonight. I have to admit, Olimpia could not do nothing tonight. The first half especially. The first half was an abject failure. The first half was flat. The first half was everything you wouldn't want in a semifinal of a major tournament. Let me say this. That first half was a shambles. I don't care if you have your backup goalkeeper in net. I don't care if you have your first goalkeeper in net. I don't care if you have the U17's goalkeeper in net. That is a shambles. Or anything. But you'd be like, no goals were given up. What do you mean by that? Maybe they were playing a little bit more conservatively, considering the goalkeeper in their net was their backup. Maybe that's what it was. Or maybe they were just flat. I don't know. But there's a lot of excuses you can make. But you want to blame a goalkeeper? Well, we'll get into that. Here's the thing. This game, the first half was a flop. They were flat. It was a flop. It was depressing. Everything they did was just nothing. It was nothing. They could not muster anything to save their game. They could not find anything. There were no attacks. Bankston was invisible. Hernandez was Davy Flores was trying to be creative, but guess what? It didn't work out. Honestly, this game was a shambles. Out of anything was a shambles. And the fact of is you have to be better than that. You have to be better than this in a semifinal. And the second half, they actually put up pressure. They actually put the ball forward. They were playing better, but guess what? When you do the defense's work for them for the first half, it's easy for them to be like, you know what? We could shut them down for another half, and they did. Alajuelense's defense was spectacular tonight, especially in the second half, when you could tell it was them, not the freaking offense playing defense on themselves. You could tell. You could tell. Their defense was special. It was great. That team, as in Olimpia, choked. They choked on the pressure, and they fell apart. I know they're in the Champions League, so honestly, they get another crack at a Concacaf tournament in February. But guess what? The Davy Flores suspension, the red card for the handball, takes effect there. Not tonight, which is ironic as well. Let me rant on that, because here's the thing. Shouldn't red cards in a competition, the Champions League, convert to Concacaf League? Because they should. Not trying to hurt Olimpia here, but really, if you're in the same competition or in the same confederation and it's the second tournament over the first, shouldn't it really convert? Shouldn't have Davy Flores missed this match, not the Champions League match, in probably early March at this point? That's stupid. Honestly, that makes no sense to me. That makes zero sense to me. But CONCACAF doesn't like to make sense, do they? So, with that, Alajuelense played the game they needed to get it to penalties. They did. In penalties, they win 5-4. On the first penalty, Arboleda makes his for Olimpia. Brian Ruiz makes his for Alajuelense. Chirinos makes his for Olimpia. Roman makes his for Alajuelense. Hernandez makes his for Olimpia. Cubero makes his for Alajuelense. Fonseca, the goalkeeper for Olimpia, misses his off the post. Ferron makes his for Alajuelense. Leveron makes his for Olimpia to make sure Ariola had to score. He did. 5-4 on penalties for Alajuelense. Here's my problem. You send up your goalkeeper, not just that, your backup goalkeeper for a penalty on the 4th shot. Are you deluded? You lost the game. And he knew it. Did you think he was going to make a save on the 4th or the 5th after what happened? You're deluded. Profe, you're deluded. Deluded. Tell me that wasn't a bad idea. Tell me how that wasn't a bad idea. I'd really like to know. Because honestly, that's a bad idea. It's deluded. Your goalkeeper on the 4th penalty, not even your top goalkeeper, your backup. Deluded. Absolutely deluded. Where's your brain? You need a transplant or a lobotomy. You need a transplant or a lobotomy. Hell, you know what? I could read your tarot deck. It'll tell you you're an idiot. That's probably what it would do. I don't know if there's any card for that, but maybe the 3 of Swords. Where's the 3 of Swords? I don't need to do any. Oh, there we go. It's still on the bottom. This is your card. Heartbreak because you failed. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Hey, it was at the bottom of the deck. You can't question me. Spirit knows. And I'll blame TikTok, but at least for the cards. Not for the penalty, but for the cards. Ah, it was at the bottom. I didn't expect that. That's amazing. Here's the thing. You make that decision. That decision is a mind-boggling, horrible decision. That's what you lost the game. Well, hell no, you lost the game when your offense acted like playing defense for Alajuelense's defense in the first half, letting them off. And then you couldn't score in the second half. That was Alajuelense. I'll give them that. And then you put your goalkeeper up. You lost this game. You lost it. You could say 2 positive COVID cases. No. Fonseca played well until the penalty. It's not his fault because I bet Menjivar was one of the positive COVID cases. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't sold. It's probably COVID. My friend, you blew it. Profe. Troglio. You blew it. You blew it. And I think Olimpia fans would agree. There may be a language barrier, but I think they'd agree with what I'm saying. Because why? I cannot put my head around it. Fonseca's the player of the game for Alajuelense. They didn't have really that good of a player to really get man of the match. It's either you or Fonseca. Who do you want it to be? Who do you want it to be? You know, no, it's both of you. It's both of you. It's your fault. So, Alajuelense fans, if I were you, you're going to the final. I'd be happy. And you're going to the Champions League. I'd be happy. But even with playing Saprissa without Venegas, because you have him now, even though he's cup tied, yeah, you may have a chance. But honestly, do you really want to feel that empty here? It is what it is. I mean, it was an upset. You won at home, but it was really an upset. Honestly, I'd be happy, but I'd be kind of worried, honestly. And for Olimpia fans, if I were you, I'd be mad. I know Troglio is a good coach. He's profe for a reason. But and start a riot, but I mean, you got to ask some questions here, you know? You got to ask some questions here. So for me, you got to be mad. I don't care. It's got to be mad. You have to be mad. So with that said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Today's my birthday. Or, well, by the time this comes out, it's not going to be my birthday. So happy belated. And by the way, Friday, live stream in RSR for Saprissa Archive. I'll be doing that. So I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace.